Welcome back to the channel. My name is Abel and welcome to another preview video for Euro 2020. Today we're going to look at Group B. Yes, Euro 2020 is delayed until next year because of COVID-19, so I decided I'm going to do Euro 2020 myself, simulating it in Football Manager 2020. Over the next month or so, we're going to be going through every single fixture in the tournament and seeing how things unfold and who wins. In Group B, we have Bosnia and Herzegovina, we have Denmark, we have the current holders Portugal after their win in 2016, and we have Russia. The games in this group are going to be taking place in Copenhagen in Denmark and St. Petersburg in Russia. Of course, Euro 2020, to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the European Championships, is going to be held over various host countries and cities. So Portugal get no games in Lisbon, which seems a bit unfair for them as the holders. Denmark and Russia have their games, or two of their games I think, in their stadium. So we'll see how this group unfolds. Who knows how this will go. Portugal as holders, you would imagine, would win this group, but anything could happen. Denmark have some good players for them. Bosnia could provide a surprise. And of course, Russia had a good showing in the World Cup in 2018 as the host nation, getting to the quarterfinals before losing on penalties against Croatia. So it could be a group that could provide some surprises, we will see. But first of all, let's have a look through each team, how they got here, and the squad they're taking to the Euros. We'll start off with Bosnia and Herzegovina, who in their first game take on Portugal in Denmark before facing the Danes themselves in Copenhagen, followed by a game against Russia in St. Petersburg. Bosnia and Herzegovina qualified from Group J in second place behind Italy, who we've already seen in these videos as they're in Group A. Of the 10 games they played, they won 7, drew 1 and lost 2. They started with a 1-0 home defeat against Italy, but did go on later on to beat them 2-1 in Turin. The one other defeat did come against Greece, 1-0 in Athens, and they did have a 0-0 draw at home against the Greeks, but otherwise other games were all won. In the 2 warm-up games they played, they did get a 2-2 home draw against Germany before beating the Faroe Islands 3-0, but left back Sead Kolasinac suffered an injury in that match, so won't be available for the start of the tournament. Some players that missed the trip: Nikola Katic of Rangers and Jozo Simonovic of Celtic, 2 players in the Scottish leagues not making it there. Mario Vrancic of Norwich also failing to make the team. But Bosnia taking with their 3 goalkeepers: Asmir Begovic of AC Milan, Jasmin Vesic and Miodrag Mitrovic. Amongst the defenders, we have Ermin Bikacic of Hoffenheim, we have Adol Sivic, we have Sead Kolasinac, as previously mentioned, from Arsenal, although he is injured, Zoran Kovacic, Toni Sundic of Dinamo Moscow, Darko Todorovic, Orljan Branjic and Ervin Zikanovic make up the rest of the defenders. Amongst the midfielders, we have Mohamed Besic of Everton, Amir Gojak of Dinamo Zagreb, Rada Krunic of AC Milan, Senad Lulic of Lazio, Miralem Pjanic of Juventus and Sanjin Persic of Strasbourg. And then up front, Edin Dzeko, the former Manchester City striker, now playing for AS Roma, Haris Duljevic, Kenan Kodra of Athletic Bilbao, Elvir Kojlic, Denis Milosevic and Edin Viska. The team managed by Dusan Pejovic in only their second major tournament after qualifying for the 2014 World Cup, and they're going to see if they can get through the group stage for the first time after failing in that World Cup. But their opponents in their opening fixture are the current holders Portugal. Portugal with a 100% record in their qualifiers, conceding just 2 goals. They finished top of Group B with 24 points out of 24 ahead of Serbia. No warm-up matches for Portugal, interestingly. They did play 2 games back in March, beating Bosnia and Poland. They start off with that game against Bosnia in Denmark before facing Russia in St. Petersburg and then facing the Danes themselves at Telia Parken in Copenhagen. No Ruben Neves is the team. He had to pull out due to a rib injury. Fellow Wolves teammate Diogo Jota also fails to make the team, as does Ricardo Pereira of Leicester. Andre Gomez of Everton also out of the team, but the team that Fernando Santos is taking to the Euros looks like this. The 3 goalkeepers: Anthony Lopez of Lyon, Rui Patricio of Wolverhampton and Claudio Ramos. Bruno Alves is amongst the defenders, along with Joao Cancelo of Manchester City, Ruben Diaz of Benfica, Domingos Duarte, Rafael Guerreiro of Borussia Dortmund, Mario Rui of Napoli, Pepe, the former Real Madrid defender, now Porto, and Nelson Semedo of Barcelona. Midfielders include William Carvalho of Betis, Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United, João Moutinho, another Wolverhampton Wanderers player, Danilo Pereira, and Bernardo Silva of Manchester City. Up front, Cristiano Ronaldo, the star striker, one of the best players in the world, playing for Juventus. Joao Felix, who of course this past year has signed for Atletico Madrid. Gonzalo Guedes, who plays for Valencia. Gelson Martins of Monaco, Pizzi of Benfica, Rafa also of Benfica, and Andre Silva playing for Eintracht Frankfurt. Portugal, you would imagine, as holders are favourites to win this group and progress through the tournament and maybe go on to win the whole thing and defend their crown. We will wait and see how the Portuguese do. Russia are fresh off of hosting the World Cup, of course, getting to the quarterfinals, and I thought they did a fantastic job of hosting the tournament. I wasn't sure how it would go, but actually, no, Russia did a superb job of hosting the World Cup. You know, kudos to them because it was amazing. But Russia qualifying for Euro 2020 in second place in Group I behind Belgium, finishing just 1 point ahead of Scotland, who failed to make the tournament due to losing in a playoff. Russia are the third lowest rank in this tournament though. Russia started well, winning their first 3 games in their qualifiers against Scotland, Cyprus and Kazakhstan before a 1-0 defeat away against Belgium. 2 victories over San Marino were pretty routine. A home draw against Cyprus was slightly disappointing, as well as a 4-2 defeat against Scotland in Hampton Park. 2 warm-up games for the Russians, a 1-0 win in Turkey, and much like Bosnia and Herzegovina, a 2-2 draw in Germany. They start their campaign in their own stadium against Denmark before hosting Portugal and then facing Bosnia also in Russia. So all 3 of Russia's games in their stadium in St. Petersburg. So you'd fancy them to maybe get through with Portugal, but we'll see how Denmark and Bosnia do. Absences in the Russia team, Igor Akinfeev at 34. Probably done with his Russia career, but Anton Miranchuk, the midfielder, misses out. Igor Smolnikov, the right back for Spartak Moscow, carrying a bit of an injury, so he doesn't make the squad. And Alan Jagoev of CSKA Moscow also missing out, the 29-year-old. But the 3 goalkeepers they're taking, Gil is going to be the first choice goalkeeper from Lokomotiv Moscow, Andrei Lunev of Zenit, and Anton Zhunin of Dynamo Moscow, the other goalkeepers. All but 3 of Russia's 23-man squad actually play in the Russian league. The only 3 that don't are Denis Cheryshev of Valencia, Alexander Golovin of Monaco, and Fedor Smolov of Celta Vigo. But the defenders, we have Georgi Daikia, Ilya Kutapov, Mario Fernandez, Sergei Petrov, Georgi Shenikov, Andrei Semenov, Viktor Yasin, and Yuri Zhirkov, the former Chelsea man. In midfield, it's Yuri Gazinski, Golovin, Ruslan Kambalov, Dale Kusyaev, Alexei Miranchuk, Roman Zobnin. And then the forwards that Stanislav Cherchesov are taking are Zelimkhan Bakayev, Fedor Chalov, Denis Cheryshev, Artem Zyuba of Zenit St. Petersburg, Oleg Shatov, and Fedor Smolov of Celta Vigo. They're facing Arga Horide's Denmark side in their first game, and Denmark have always been quite competitive in these tournaments and have won the Euros before, back in 1992. Since then, though, they have only once managed to get through the group stage, and that was in 2004, where they got to a quarter-final. Denmark qualified as winners of Group D, finishing ahead of Switzerland, who qualified. Ireland and Georgia from that group went into the playoffs. They lost just 1 game during their qualification campaign, and that was a defeat against Switzerland in Bern. Switzerland also holding them to a draw at home. That was when Denmark went down to 10 men, with Viktor Visser getting sent off. And then Seferovic scored for Switzerland to seal a point for the Swiss. Rest of the games though did end in victory, so just 1 defeat and 1 draw, so a good campaign for the Danes. Friendlies against Norway and Serbia ended in defeat and draw respectively. No room in the squad for Celta Vigo's Pione Sisto, and a torn hamstring suffered in Copenhagen's last league game means that Victor Fischer also misses out on the tournament. Denmark also with some fitness concerns for their opening game, with 3 doubts in the team as well. Could be touch and go of whether they make the first game or not. One of which is goalkeeper Jonas Lørsel of Everton, but I doubt that he'll be first choice goalkeeper. That will probably go to Leicester's Kasper Schmeichel. Frederick Rono is the other goalkeeper. Lyon's Joachim Andersen is one of the many defenders in the team, along with Chelsea's Andreas Christensen, Riza Durmizi of Nice, Simon Scher of AC Milan, Jonas Knudsen, Victor Nelson, Jens Striger Larsen of Udinese, Yannick Vestergaard of Southampton, and Daniel Wass of Valencia. Bournemouth's Philip Billing is amongst the midfielders, alongside Thomas Delaney of Borussia Dortmund, Christian Eriksen, who has moved to Inter Milan, Rasmus Falk, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, also of Southampton, and Lasse Schöner of Genoa. And the 5 forwards for the team, you've got Jacob Brun Larsen of Hoffenheim, Andreas Cornelius of Parma, Nicola Jurgensen of Feyenoord, Yusuf Poulsen of RB Leipzig, and Robert Skov of Hoffenheim. Arga Herade hopes that Denmark can get through the group for the first time since 2004. So that is our look at Group B complete. Russia and Denmark with the home field advantage, but Portugal as holders are going to have a point to prove to see if they can defend their crown. I think between those three it's going to be close, but Bosnia and Herzegovina can't be counted out. They're no pushovers, they're a decent team. For me, I think Portugal should be winning this group despite not having games in the road stadium, and it could be that Russia and Denmark both qualify because the 4 best teams in third position also qualify for the second round. So you might see 3 out of 4 teams progress in this group. One of those might be Bosnia, they're no pushovers. So who knows how this group will go, but that is our look at Group B complete. Join me next time when we're going to have a look at Group C, which features Belgium, Croatia, Holland and Romania. That's a very open group, and we'll have a good look at that group next time. But for now guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below, leave comments, and if you haven't done so already, or if you're new, then do consider subscribing and turning on notifications, and join me next time for our look at Group C as we approach the start of the Euro 2020 tournament. Don't forget that Friday the 12th of June at 8 o'clock will be the very first game, and it's Italy versus Austria. And I'm going to use this time now to announce that that first game is going to be a premiere on YouTube. So 8 o'clock on Friday the 12th of June will be when it comes out, and you can be in the chat and you can watch the game along with me and see how it goes and chat with me as well. So make sure you drop in as it comes out at 8 o'clock and you'll see how it unfolds. But that's it for today with Group B. Join me next time, we're going to have a look at Group C. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.